the floodlights here of the Mandela National Stadium are on and in full flow.
It's far.
Should we, in any case or scenario, head towards extra time?
Think we're going there.
Well, it's a 2-point margin.
It's very difficult.
If you look at it, it's going to take something pretty interesting to get the mathematics to give these teams leveled.
Zimbabwe penalty, Namibia try will get us level. But it's just 9 minutes to play.
That's a lot of scoring, but definitely, if this second half is anything to go by, it's been a flurry of points ticking on the board as that is put into touch here. In just a couple of minutes, the celebrations will begin and gold will be the grand prize given. We do remind you that Nile Special, made of gold, proud partners and sponsors of the Uganda Rugby national team.
Yeah, Victor Mupunga had to make way for Tyrone Fagan. He had worked hard and the change made a bit too late and the try was scored in the gap which he was defending.
Zimbabwe now need to keep their wits about them. You cannot give up those spaces as Tyrone Fagan comes on to take the place of Victor Mupunga. Confirmation of that substitution. Hilton Mudariki on high alert, and the fans of the Belvicha here continue to cheer their team on. Dare to dream. A 10th showing, a 10th trophy could beckon their name, but they need to make it count here and now. 8 minutes left to play for in the Rugby Africa Cup 2025 final.
Contest from Zimbabwe and they've won the ball back. It's the hooker Liam Larkan. And there's a Namibian player on the floor in pain. That is Andrew Kans in the number 21 jersey. This forces Adrian Boysen to call for the mark. An easy take. Now he can restart with a kick out and up in the air. Or rather, the number 13, Lurumalan. Zimbabwe's kick receipt not the best, and you can see how close Namibia are back in their own area.
Namibia trooping forward in numbers and looking once again to execute the grand coup.
Tino Mavesere's tackle sends the player into touch. That's going to be a line out for Zimbabwe. Nail-biting moments for all the players on the bench. Some of whom have already given their 100% and have left it to the 15 on the field.
Must be a difficult place to be when you would want to be on that field, but the body says you have given your all, and now all you can do is be an innocent bystander as the proceedings unfold without you. Line in.
Just forward.
Going for that ball, both players here trying to get to it, but Namibia securing possession here.
They have the advantage as well. For that handling error, now the advantage is over. There goes the captain, Dan Kobaga.
For Zimbabwe, they'll have to be very careful. A drop kick here wouldn't be such a bad idea, so they'll need to keep their wits about them. The bounce allows the Sables to pick the ball. Pua makes no mistake, clearing his lines here to make sure that they cut down on the pressure. But once again, a return in. Jagenmeyer carries it towards the 22. Namibia probably saving their best for the last and breezing in, breaking down the lines. Richard Hardwick still have possession, trying to quickly pick the ball and get moving here. Leroux Malan. Ball fumble dropped. Namibia getting a little too clumsy. The referee will have a say here.
Handling hasn't been the best in these phases, but you can understand that the non-stop action will leave some players fighting for their breath, and when you are fatigued at a certain point, the spirit will be willing but the flesh will be weak.
Double substitution here for Namibia. Jason Bernardi and Haitembu are introduced into the fray. Off goes Bernardi Wien. It's actually Ola. That is taken off.
I love Haitembu Shikofa. Props know how to grind. Just comes on, puts his head down and gets to work. It's been a good shift from the starters. Now the finishers with just 5 minutes on the clock.
Whoever has that term or applied to the position as it will now, they must finish the job. Starters really putting themselves in a prime position, and now it's a real case of who has it, the will to edge themselves to glory.
Zimbabwe getting the edge in the scrum. It's available for Joubert to use. They've got the advantage, and then the full blast of the whistle. That change at the front row not exactly working for Namibia.
Ian Pryor handed the ball with just 4 minutes left to play.
Now, speaking of Ian Pryor, he's the only player in this tournament who has gone above the half-century mark with points. 52 from his last attempt. But it's been ages ago. You would struggle to remember that he has had a shot at goal. That's how dominant Zimbabwe, rather Namibia, have been in these late exchanges. They've swung the momentum into their favor, and they're putting up such a strong fight. On comes returning is Matthew Mandioma. Should be an injury replacement, or maybe when he was replaced, it was a blood replacement. So
it was a blood replacement.
So
he went off bleeding, comes back bandaged and ready to put in another shift.
Zimbabwe loses the ball, but referee says backwards. Possession maintained by Zimbabwe.
Looking to grind here. Now it's bodies everywhere. And Matthew Mandioma has possession, but finds it very difficult here to advance against Amand Kumbrinik.
Zimbabwe looking to wear down the clock. Every phase taken slowly but steadily. Then they will box kick into the Namibia territory and try to pin them there for the remainder of the game. The penalty has gone against the Zimbabweans for obstruction at that box kick. And guess what? Tian Swanepoel is going for points from behind the halfway line. 52 meters, is it?
3 minutes. Could be a chance to snatch it at the death and make a grand haste here. Tian Swanepoel had a blistering game one where he had a 100 percentile from that boot. This time, behind the halfway mark, it's going to take something extraordinarily special here for him to achieve his fate.
What a kick this is going to be should it be successful.
Came dangerously close, but just off the mark. And prayers and supplications to the heavens above for Namibia continue. Within touching distance, so close but not quite, and the clock is whiling away at neck-break speed for them, but slowly grinding towards its grand position as far as the Sables are concerned.
This should be the very last play. The clock is now well into the 79s. Ball has to stay on the playing field. Namibia have to maintain possession, and they know this. Zimbabwe are just 1 minute away from being the African champions, but most importantly, 1 minute away from going to the Rugby World Cup in Australia come 2027. Nail-biting moments in this final. The local fans call it malaria time.
And right there, you understand why. Suspended animation here from the bench as they try to urge the team to stay calm. We're into the final 30 seconds of the game.
It's been turned over by Zimbabwe. They just have to hold possession. Carry all those PDs slowly but steadily towards the touchline. Put it into touch. And they will be African champions for the third time.
It will be back-to-back. And it's been a very long time since we had a back-to-back champion here. Zimbabwe looking to assert their dominance. It's the Rugby Africa Cup. Fans cheering and chanting them on.
The clock is in the 80s, but it's been lost forward by Zimbabwe. One final shot
Talk
for
about
Namibia.
Drama. Let drama.
See Bruce Houston pointing to the scoreboard that the clock is over the 80, but the referee says one more shot, gentlemen. This is for Namibia to maintain the status quo. This is for Zimbabwe to add 2012 and 2024 to their Rugby Africa Cup Hall of Fame.
For both, it's the time to test their resolves. It's the Rugby Africa Cup right here on NBA Sport, brought to you by Nile Special, made of gold, MTN Momo, and of course Omo, unbeatable on stains, Platinum Credit, your financial solutions partner, and Rock Boom, the official energy.
Oh, there it is!
Full time, and it's time.
Zimbabwe.
The whistles, the cheers, the tears, the celebrations, it's all mingled in one. It's the moment they came to claim, and it's one they have definitely gained here.
Some of the players running onto the playing field, but it's not yet full time. Wait for that tap and then out. Then you can be champions. Paul Mente ensuring that you only have 15 on the field in the green and white. But it doesn't matter for those in the stands. It's tears of joy. They are going to Australia come 2027. Zimbabwe Sabres.
And will it be aptly so? The man that has definitely been in top ranking tonight, Ian Pryor, that puts the ball into touch, and the celebrations can now begin unfettered. It's the Sabres who will be galloping their way to the World Cup, and a back-to-back trophy lift for them here at the Rugby Africa, successfully defending their title with aplomb and the weight of expectation, the delivery of the grand prize, and sticking to their guns. Definitely meant here for Namibia. Once again, close to the summit. Close never counts. They know how much it takes. They've been there. They've been at the very top of the mountain. And they do know that this time it just wasn't meant to be. There might be a slim opportunity for them to find themselves as well at the Rugby World Cup. But that will be a fate that might be decided next week. For now, the celebrations will all belong to the Sabres.
You can call them celebrations, but for these on the playing field, it's tears, it's relief. The Sabres have gone to the World Cup. Look at the fans in the stands, some of whom are family to these players, some of whom have watched the hard work, have been a part of this journey. They've seen how much work has been put in. Peter Bernarde said some of these players had to be called from their local clubs. The ones playing internationally could only come in so late. Getting this squad together, working hard and ensuring that they kept it close for 2 years, a project they worked on since they lost that semi-final in France. They came here in Kampala, won the Africa Cup in 2024, and it was only just a warning. 2025, they are here, and they've reached the top step.
Sacrifices made, bodies put on the line, the aches, the pains, the endless drills, the deliberations, the moments that have instilled and drilled perfection into their ranks, all paying off and culminating into the grand moment where they once again will write their names in the fabled history of African rugby folklore. Back-to-back champions, the Sabres.
It's unbelievable for some of the fans. For those in management, it's an answered prayer. There's Edward Sigauke, won the Rugby Africa Under-20 Championship, the Bates Trophy in Nairobi back in 2022, has graduated to the senior squad, 9 caps to his name, and he is going to the World Cup.
Those 9 caps here definitely in them will also be one that is definitely the big one on the African continent. The ticket stamped. The prayers continue in earnest, supplications to deities above for the good fortunes that have led them all the way to the grand prize.
Manuel Gwinji came off the bench and gave it a good shift. You know, you think about this Namibia squad, they've worked so hard, they've dominated African rugby, but looks like the times have changed and there's a new king in town. They've given it their best, holding on for a close margin, but ultimately, what a time it has been for the Namibians. Zimbabwe are now in charge of African rugby.
Heavy favorites they were right from the word get-go, defending champions they are, and everybody will tell you it's a task to get to the top, but staying at the top even a bigger task. Zimbabwe have proven they have everything it takes to stay the team that will be counted upon here. And now the celebrations will start because they know the 2027 Australia Men's World Cup definitely has their name and their ticket stamped in. As they get to pose behind that banner, it's all paying off. It's all coming to the fore. They are the champions. They will represent the African continent at the World Showpiece for the grandest prize of them all. The celebrations and the dances here within the ranks of Zimbabwe to continue. Their fans, some still had to believe and yet to take in the moment, but it is done and dusted. They came, they saw, and conquered again. They did. A brilliant display of rugby here that has earned them the right to once again call themselves the very best. Signals pretty clear there. To the top of the mountain once again. They are the apex rugby team in the African continent.
Join us. All right, thank you, Team Zimbabwe. Just give us a few moments, Team Zimbabwe. As we get down in the award, just give us a couple minutes.
And have your MVP DJ for the finals, Mr. Geoffrey Muzanao. Great game played. How does it feel to qualify for the World Cup?
I'm lost of words. Right now, I give all the thanks to the mighty Lord for giving us this opportunity to be here. But I also want to thank my teammates because they made this possible for Zimbabwe.
You put your body on the line for the 80 minutes. You stood tall. What do we have in stock come 2027? What are expectations for the fans of the Sables?
I think for us now it's back to the drawing board because we don't want to go to the World Cup just to be there, but we want to go there and compete and put Zimbabwe on the map.
And lastly, the feeling of being the MVP and also having not lost the game in 2 years. How does it feel?
I'm lost of words, but it's all thanks to the support from back home. Our coaches doing the work behind the scenes, and obviously the teammates pushing each other to go forward.
All right, I would like to request Mr. Ambrose Dashovia, the National Council of Sports chairman and also the chairman of the local organizing committee, to hand over the plaque for the man of the match. Congratulations, Geoffrey Muzanao. And now, representative for the match officials, Mundiwa Mudarara, will be receiving the plaque from this far rep, Miss Patricia Tusubira. Well done to the officials. You have given us a very, very clear, well-conducted tournament. So Mundiwa and your team, we congratulate you. I'd like to request all the team managers, all captains, to make their way here, but this is going to be done by Honorary Secretary, Uganda Rugby Union, Mr. Peter Odong, is going to hand you participation plaques. So all captains of the teams that participated, please make your way here. We have union presidents, I'm told. The union presidents. All right, we'll start with Algeria. Please come and receive your participation plaque. Algeria, can we have either the union president and also Cote d'Ivoire, please prepare to come, followed by Kenya. Then we'll have Morocco, Namibia, Senegal, Uganda, then Zimbabwe. Algeria is here. Cote d'Ivoire will be next.
To all the union presidents, if you're a president of your country's rugby union, and if the presidents of the unions are not around, the captains or the team managers should come and receive the participation plaques right now. If you are a union president, kindly come over and receive your participation plaque.
All right, next, Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire. If Cote d'Ivoire is not very near Kenya, the union president is here. All right, she's here. All right, the union president is here. For Morocco. Can we have union president from Morocco? Is right here. Namibia should be following suit. Get ready. Union president for Morocco receives their plaque. Will be followed by Namibia. There he is. Mr. Peter Odong hands over the flags for participation. And then will be followed by Senegal. And then Uganda. President Uganda. Someone receive on behalf of Uganda. Plaque for participation. The president is here, Mr. Godwin Kayangwe. And then we'll have the union president of Zimbabwe following Uganda. Zimbabwe, the champions, and they also qualified for the World Cup. Mr. Godwin with a big smile that receives the participation plaque. It's only one team that has not been represented. Cote d'Ivoire. Anyone from Cote d'Ivoire? Cote d'Ivoire, Do we have a representative? Since we don't have Cote d'Ivoire here, we'll have it sent to them. And now, coach of the tournament, hailing from Team Morocco, Kudia Gasmin. This will be handed over by the General Secretary.
Oh my good Lord. Oh my Gideon, what a final was Zimbabwe beating 20 points to 28.
Morocco
Way to end what has been an epic final, an epic tournament here at the Mandela National Stadium in Namibia. We are now on a bit too late to start, but this is the final episode of the Scrum Rack Hour that has been running on NBS Sport every weekday and on match days. Ernest Akorebirunji. I'm joined by the man who has won this tournament before, Alan Musoke, and the lady who has always chosen the right team and chose the right team for the final. We've had, guys, overall.
Amazing tournament. A lot to pick from, but we shall dive right into that. Yeah.
Alan Musoke.
Yeah. Well, I think the rugby has been on pristine display. The teams have come out. The teams have shown flair, and I'm sure very many teams have learned how to play this game. And what I'm saying have learned is the final and actually the semi-finals and the finals actually raised the bar in terms of how rugby should actually be played.
Yeah, class up.
A round of applause to Team Algeria, who are the bronze medalists. And right after we are done with awarding the bronze to Algeria.
And then later on, of course, the crowning of the champions will be the game on the agenda. Successful tournament they've actually had, put in a very decent shift. At the end of the day, only one team can be crowned champions.
A42 win. I will ask the head of marketing for Libraries, Wangechi Gitahi,
who are receiving their medals here.
Head of marketing, Sam Hooper, to just be on standby. Right after we're done with awarding Team Algeria, it will be time for them to step on to the stage.
Algeria receiving their medals here for the third place finish. Managed to earn that particular sport, getting the better of Kenya. Medals here given unto them here as they figure out who gets what here. Always quite a bit of a trick, but Algeria, third place, they did manage to dominate here, and now they get to share in the spoils, and it's an exciting culmination of the tournament that got underway on the 8th. Top of the pops, top of the order. They do receive their medals out here, and thereafter, of course, we'll get to pose for their photos. So third place done here. That's the bronze medals, of course, awarded there by the representatives for MTN and, of course, Vivo Energy right here. They're just maybe one left there and handed over
As we are
successfully.
getting done with awarding
Right, now to
area,
the
I will
silver
ask
medalists,
the head of marketing,
the losing
the
finalists,
who are
and it will be the
getting
head of
determined,
marketing,
and also
NBL, and of course,
the head of
partners
marketing
from
of Harris
Rugby,
International,
also
Mr.
sponsors
Sam
here.
Gopa.
And that
Together
will
with
go
Ed
to the
Malinga
bell
to come
picture
and join
of
us on stage
Namibia.
as we award.
Put in a very brave shift, but in the end, it was a case of too little too late, and maybe cutting the cloth too close to the line.
Head of marketing from
And thereafter, of course, we shall have the presentation of the Presidential Award.
Marketing of Harris International. It is now time
He's the marketing manager there of Harris International,
and receive
the
their silver
sponsors
medals.
and producers of Rock Boom. Of course, joined by the brand manager of Elburi is there.
A round of applause for Team Namibia.
Will deliver the medals here for the losing finalists. Namibia, they do have a chance at the repechage, and that will be next weekend right here at the Mandela National Stadium. So still rugby giving. They would have really wanted to avoid that extra match. For now, they'll only have to settle for silver and hope that they have better tidings come next Saturday.
But they get awarded the silver medals.
Let me try to get another card.
Namibia, one of the pre-tournament favorites. Everybody did, of course, have them singled out as one of the teams to watch out for, and rightly so. Came into this particular tournament heavily built. Nation that is ranked number 25 in the world. Winners of the Africa Cup 2002, 2004, 2009, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and most recently 2022. We're hoping to add the 2025 trophy number 10 to their cabinet. But that will definitely have to be another way. There's still an opportunity to follow their 8 appearances at the World Cup. Last having appeared there in 2023. Before that, 2019, 2015, 2011, 2007, 2003, and 1999 when they made their first appearance at the World Cup. And a lot, of course, in the tank here to play for. In the end, turned out Zim had the advantage over them, and now they'll have to settle for the silver.
Another round of applause to Team Namibia.
Officials here from Namibia picking up the rest of the medals here. Successful showing that they've actually had here, only falling at the final hurdle. I would have wished
And
to be
now
the
it
team
is
that
time
would
for
be
the Presidential
celebrating.
Award. The Ugandan Rugby Union President, Mr. Godwin Kayangwe.
Now up next will be the awarding of the Presidential Awards, and the Uganda Rugby Union President, Godwin Kayangwe, will present that to the Rugby Africa President, Herbert Mensah. 2 successful tournaments organized to sheer perfection and getting the job delivered. Uganda, epitome of hospitality, making sure they put the best foot forward, delivered a second successful tournament back to back. Definitely be a source of great pride. The president of Uganda Rugby there, handing it over to the president of Rugby Africa, Herbert Mensah, who's definitely always had a splendid time when he is in Uganda. There it is, presented to Rugby Africa. Well, for the president of Rugby Africa, Herbert Mensah, he will not have to step too far because he will be one of those that are awarding to the 3 referees of the final. That is the Rugby Africa president, Herbert Mensah, the Minister of Education and Sports, or Minister of State for Education and Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, and the Zimbabwe Deputy Minister of Sports, Honorable Jesiah will now have to award here to the 3 referees who managed the final. Paul Mante, the man all the way from South Africa, Sylvian Mane, and Uganda's very own Uma Balikanda for officiating that particular matchup in there. Splendid showing and getting the job done.
And these will be awarded by the Zimbabwe Deputy
3
Minister of
referees
Sports,
for the final.
Honorable E. Josiah. Paul Mente is first to receive his award as the center
That is
referee.
Honorable Josiah, the Deputy Minister of Sport for Zimbabwe.
His award, and that will be Uma Balikanda. The 3
Balikanda there
referees
receiving his
of
plaque
the
as
final.
well. Oh, this is Sylvian Mane receiving his plaque, and then later will be Uma Balikanda who will be coming in finally to pick up his plaque. Solid showing in the final.
Right. Thank you, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Deputy Minister of Sports, Honorable Josiah. Thank you so much. Next up,
Now the next award will be for the tournament MVP. And this will be awarded by the President of Rugby Africa, Herbert Metsa. And there'll be very few contentions to the man that has stood heads and shoulders above all, Ian Pryor, with more than half a century of points accumulated in this particular tournament, a kicking boot that none could match, and a man who was absolutely in his zone in the final and has really enjoyed the entire tournament. Ian Pryor is the tournament most valuable player.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to Ian Pryor. He's been in imperious form for his team. Congratulations, Ian.
Splendid performance here from Ian Pryor. Of course, the celebrations will ring true and hard into the night here for the man. That is Ian Pryor, and for the performance that they've managed to put up in here.
Congratulations, Ian, as he hoists up
Popularly known as Sapuku, 34-year-old,
the trophy. And I will
takes
ask
the
his
award
dignitary,
of
the Rugby
most
Africa
valuable
President,
player.
Herbert Mensah, the Minister of Education, the chair of National Council of
Well,
Sports.
now it's
Mr.
that
Ambrose
moment
Nashoba,
that we've been
and
waiting
also
for, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the Rugby Africa Cup. The award that will be hoisted high above the heads of the champions, Zimbabwe Sevens. Now this award will be presented by the Rugby Africa President Herbert Mensah, Minister of Education and Sport, or would have been presented by the Minister of State for Education of Sport, that is Honorable Peter Ogwamba, but will be aptly represented here by the Chairman of the National Council of Sports, Ambrose Shobia, and the Zimbabwe Deputy Minister of Sport, Honorable Josiah. Sables already getting themselves into a groove, ready to celebrate into the night. For now, the trophy lifting only just a formality that is left for them to achieve.
After that, it will be time to hoist the trophy.
Zimbabwe, having taken a very interesting 12 years between last year and the time they last won the Rugby Africa Cup. First won it in 2012, won it again last year. That merely was a dress rehearsal for the big event here, managing to win it once again, back to back, and punch their ticket to the World Cup. World Cup where they've only appeared in 1987 and 1991. Now finally, they will make their grand return. Playing their 4th final. This time, once again, managing to nail it. Gold medalists, and will celebrate deep into the night here. Medals delivered, celebrations in earnest, and the cold Nile special here. Celebratory drink for the Zimbabwe Sebos as they prepare themselves to hoist that trophy up top. Made it all the way to the very top. Once again, the celebrations well and truly deserved and earned. The Sebos are just moments away from the crowning moment, where it will be officially confirmed that they have once again made it to the mountain top and will celebrate.
And as Team Zimbabwe get done receiving the medals, I will ask the Rugby Africa president to come down here to award the trophy together with Mr. Ambrose Tashovia and also the Honorable Minister. So,
and now it's time to the victor. The spoils will go. The grand trophy itself set to be handed here to the skipper
so joined by
of
and
the
also the
team
Zimbabwe Minister of Sport,
Zimbabwe.
To go down there and hand over the award to Captain
will now receive it
Dariki
from the dignitaries here, of course, including their very own Deputy Minister of Sports and the chairperson here of the Uganda National Council of Sports, as well as the president of Rugby Africa, Albert Mensah, who takes a moment here to have a hearty shackle here with the skipper ahead of hoisting that trophy. Celebrations are on. Hilton Mudariki hosts it up. Celebrations for the Sebos of Zimbabwe, champions of the Rugby Africa Cup 2025. Did it in 2024 right here at the Mandela National Stadium. Doing it again in grand celebration. And that is all they will write on the script. They came, they saw, they conquered. Congratulations to the Zimbabwe Sebos, champions, Rugby Africa Cup 2025.
All right, we have to give special identification to Mr. Ian Walker for handling hospitality of the stopping tour. Thank you very much, Mr. Ian Walker. To recognize the presence when we